Welcome to brew number 14. Today we are going to brew a Cider, which is a bit of a combo deal. It's a mead plus a cider all in one. Which got me thinking, how many other mead combos are there? We've got Cider, which of course is the mead plus cider. We've then got a braggot, which is mead plus beer. We have a melomel, which is mead plus additional fruit. We have a methylene, which sounds a bit spirity, but we have a methylene, which is mead plus herbs and spices. You then have a version of mead that is made with caramelized honey. That's called a bochet. And then you add a bochet with some fruit and you end up with a bochéamel. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that one quite right, but it's you're getting the idea. Mead is a very versatile drink with additions with other ingredients. And so I think Cider is just our starting point. There are definitely some more to come. So, without further ado, let's get started. The ingredients for our mead is a kilogram of honey, around 3 litres-ish of apple juice. We're going to require also a couple of tea bags for the tanning. In addition to that, we're going to use 60 grams of raisins, 3 grams of dried orange peel. We're also going to use 2 grams of Pectolase and also an additional 2 grams of acid blend, or in this instance, we're going to use citric acid. And then finally, not to be forgotten, of course, is the yeast. And we're going to use our Bulldog Mead yeast, which we used on the very first recipe. These are our brew day requirements. We are going to add a few extra ingredients when we come to racking. The equipment we're going to need for brew day is a 5 litre demijohn, a small saucepan, a funnel, our hydrometer and measuring cylinder, a couple of scales, both kitchen scales and something to measure at a smaller level of accuracy, and finally our airlock and bung. But before we begin, some sanitisation to do, and I'm going to warm up the honey. Step 1 is our nutrient tea. So we're going to bring this to the boil and then steep our tea bags, our raisins, and also our orange peel. So just bring up the heat on that. Honey has been warming up nicely. Step 2 then is to add our honey. This is much faster than last time. Warm honey smell is lovely. Not wishing to waste any, I'm going to try and wash a little bit of that through with the apple juice. Step 3 is to add the apple juice to the fermenter, or at least the first couple of litres. Our nutrient tea has started to boil, so I'm going to just that mix. Turn that heat off. And this can now just steep for the next 15 minutes. Step 4, I'm going to take a hydrometer reading of just the apple juice. I'm interested to sort of see where the apple juice alone starts. The apple juice is 1.045. We're now going to add Pectolase and the citric acid. This was all sanitised, so I'm going to use that to wash this down. Step 6, shake vigorously. Come back in a little while. At least this shaking step you can do sitting down. Our nutrient tea has been steeping for 15 minutes, so that's next to go in. Removing the tea bags first. Step 7 is to add the nutrient tea. I'm going to strain out the raisins and the little bits of orange peel. Most of the raisins stayed in the saucepan. Step 8 is to top up with apple juice. Got a little bit of apple juice left. I'm going to give it one last shake. Make sure all that's mixed in. I've deliberately raised that a bit high because I'm going to take a sample out and I want to check the temperature as well. So I've still got some apple juice left if necessary. Wine Thief has been sanitised already. 28.8. Just checking the yeast to sort of see what temperature for pitching, and it does say actually we are good. Yeah, up to 35 degrees in fact. So, plenty of leeway there. Step 9 is to pitch our yeast. Which of course is just going to sit on top of the foam. So right, giving it a gentle swish just to help mix it in, given the high volume of foam. I have to do that swish again. Step number 11. Add our airlock. We're ready to go. A little apple juice left over. Very refreshing. Well, it's in the bag, brew number 14. So tune in next time and we'll watch the fermentation and we'll go through to racking. See you all soon. It took a while for it to cool down a bit, but we've got there. What do you do when it's more than your hydrometer will measure?